Okay, here we are. Hi, I'm Kelly from SheepDreamery, and oh, my eyes look so tiny today. How are you all? Are you doing good? Good things going on? I just want to show you that today I am wearing green eyeshadow. Because I bought a box of makeup from Sephora, and it has every color in the rainbow in it, and I am determined to use every single color. So today I have on a chartreuse, along with they don't have names. It's just shiny beige and chartreuse and kind of green. So that's what all that is. How are you guys doing? Let's see. I thought that I didn't have a busy week, and I thought that I wouldn't have a lot to talk about. And then last night, my husband and I were talking about moving everything off of YouTube and onto something where everybody else can... Oh, hold on. I feel like I'm talking down, and I don't enjoy that. Okay. Here we go. Ugh. I'm looking extra Asian today. So, shout out to my daughter. She's half Korean, and my other son is not Korean at all, but everybody always asks him if he's Asian. And his father's brother, when his father and I got married, my family came over to me and kept saying how nice it was of my ex-husband's family to have adopted somebody from Vietnam or whatever. It's like, no, he's real. They all have the same shaped eyes, and they're just kind of small and slanty. And so every once in a while, people ask my oldest son if he's Asian. And he's not, but his sister is. So, anyway, look at what I'm wearing here. This is a wingspan that I did with my Kool-Aid dye self-striping yarn that I made oh so many years ago. It took up my entire apartment. You know, you do what you do. Oh, let me show you. Okay. Yeah, the camera adds 80 pounds. So, actually, there's like tons of room in the sweater. It's huge, gigantic. But I am wearing the sweater today, and I'll hold this up and see if maybe... Check it. It sparkles. Can you see? Can you see the sparkles? Look at all the sparkles. And this sweater I received as a Christmas present, maybe 2001. But this sweater is also special because I wore it to my wedding, to my second wedding, to my better husband. Yay! I think everybody should get married twice. Because the second wedding is so much more relaxed. Now, the first time I got married was in the early 90s, and I wasn't a bridezilla, but I was definitely like really tense and nervous and stuff, and it was kind of not the wedding I wanted anyway. So, for your second wedding, you just do whatever you want to do. Plus, I didn't have people attending that I didn't want there. I had people attending that I did want there and that I did enjoy having there. And I wasn't forced to invite anybody. And it was a lovely time. I'm still talking down. I hate that. But I also didn't want the top of my head chopped. So, but anyway, second wedding, great. And so on Saturday we celebrated our 8-year anniversary, and that was a good time. I got him a Roku, and what that means is that now I get the old Roku. I'm going to have it here in my room, and I am going to be watching all of you podcasters on my TV. Maybe. I don't know how to use it at all. There's too many remotes, and my husband, when he gets stuff, he throws the directions out immediately, and all the knowledge is trapped in his brain, and when I ask him how to do stuff, he just starts telling me, and I really need to also be able to read something while somebody's telling me something about something that's in the other room. So anyway, I'm going to have a Roku in here, and that should be fun. That should be interesting. Okay, my fat fiber samplers should be out there in the wild. The box goes on sale on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, fat fiber. And there are already a few skeins of Aurora Borealis in the shop if you're interested in getting them early. I still have my other dye coming. It is coming from California. Right now it is stuck in a place in Illinois by the name of Hodgkins. I consider Hodgkins, Illinois, hell. I love tracking with UPS, and as soon as I see that something is in Hodgkins, Illinois, I know it's going to sit there for 3 days. 3 days. Just sitting there. Come on. It's like a 5-hour drive from where they are to where I am. And it's just going to sit there. And it makes me crazy to look and see that from Saturday, it's just been sitting in Hodgkins, Illinois. I don't know if the rest of you understand that feeling or not, but that's my feeling. As soon as I see Hodgkins, I just know it's doomed. It's just going to take forever. So I'm pretty sure my dye will not be here tomorrow. It'll be here Thursday. So Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be cooking up some yarn, making some more Aurora Borealis for everybody. And that'll be a good time, right? And that makes me super happy. I was reading on Ravelry. There's a few different podcasting groups, and one of the threads was what most annoys you about podcasters that podcasters do, and somebody said, well, sometimes there's this one podcaster and they'll use the same phrase 10 times in a row, and that phrase is, and that makes me super happy, and I can't watch them anymore. It's like, okay, enjoy. You're safe here. There's not a whole lot that makes me super happy. There's a whole lot that makes me this face. Merp, as my dog puts it, when she comes into the house and lays down for the evening. Merp. She's just had a long day. She's very tired. She has exhausted all dog energy. She's a very happy-go-lucky puppy, but there are 2 dogs in the neighborhood owned by the same person. They are, I don't know, tiny little poodles or something, and Maisie just goes nuts. Is somebody talking to me? Hold on. Ugh. I'm on the MacBook, and it's my husband's, and somebody keeps sending him texts, so there's bloop, bloop. I'm like, oh, it's not for me, but I don't know what to do about it. Oh my god, look at my bangs, it's making me crazy. This is why I wore a hat the other day, because sometimes you can't do anything with bangs. Wait, hold on. Let's just, oh my god, what is wrong with my hair? Seriously, there's some Anchor Woman stuff going on here. What's your dog eating and its poop? More nose at 10. That's my Anchor Woman question. What's your dog eating in its poop? Soon to be solved. Okay, what else am I going to talk about? I am going to talk about excitement. Let's see. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow the Gudrun Johnston book comes out. If you've read the Shetland Trader book with all the neat patterns in there, she has another book coming out tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great. And that makes me super happy. And then I also put myself in for the lottery for the Spring Fling. Is that what it's called? Spring Fling, Loopy U, whatever. I don't know if I'll get in. We'll see. But, okay, here's the good stuff. Stockinette Zombies is going to have a retreat in June. Yes, June. And as soon as I saw their announcement, I was like, I am there. I am totally there. I'm totally excited. I'm going to go to Minnesota. Is that terrible? Such a terrible accent, probably. But, alright. Have you all seen the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous with Kirsten Dunst and the girl that was married to Charlie Sheen? What's her name? I don't remember her name anymore. And Kirstie Alley's in it, and the one lady that was on West Wing, and Allison Janney. Allison Janney's in it, and Ellen Barkin's in it, and Brittany Murphy's in it. Look, poor old Brittany Murphy. She had some problems, but I thought she did great in certain roles, and she did really great in Drop Dead Gorgeous. So, if you like blasphemy and you like beauty pageants, it's a great movie. Definitely go rent it. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. Anyway, that's my Minnesota accent. It's kind of terrible. Oh, actually, no, my kids, what was it, on Survivor, like the first year that Survivor was out, there was a woman from Wisconsin on there, and I don't remember a whole lot about her, except that one time she was like digging through the bushes thinking that she could pick tapioca. And she kept saying it, tapioca. Let's get some tapioca. We can just go through these bushes and get some tapioca. And I was like, oh, wow. So a lot of times I'll just walk around the house and go, tapioca! And, sorry, Minnesota. Sorry, Wisconsin. Tapioca. Let's see. Oh, there was a yarn review of my Allure line of yarn. That is the Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon Awesomeness. Nyarthak on Ravelry did a review of it, and she loved it. So I will put up links so that you will be able to go ahead and read it. And I'm going to take a sip of coffee right here for a second. And look, it's my hobo code cozy. Check it out. That hobo code means a gentleman lives here. That was my CBS housewife. My husband's stupid. A man lives here. Give me a break. What man? He's an animal. He's an animal. Some good coffee. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. What else am I going to talk about? Ooh. That's Maisie. She hates those gray dogs. Did I ever get to that part of the story? Maisie only hates 2 dogs. And it is a pair of these gray, I don't know if they're poodles or what, but she's not the only dog in the neighborhood that hates those dogs. Every dog in the neighborhood hates those dogs. And my neighbor actually went to high school with the woman who owns the dogs. And my neighbor has a Jack Russell Terrier, and even she has told the girl, look, every dog on the street hates your dogs. Maybe you should walk them down the other street. We have a big neighborhood with lots of sidewalks. There are plenty of other places that she could walk the dog. But I think that basically every dog everywhere hates those dogs. And there's not a street in this neighborhood that she can walk those dogs down without every dog in the neighborhood just wanting to totally kill the dogs. But that must not have been the gray dogs, or she would still be going at it. And it actually, on days that she doesn't go to daycare, that's what wears her out, is running from each side of the gate in the backyard to bark at the dogs until the dogs are finally off her street. She can't stand those dogs. And actually, one time, at first we thought she hopped the fence, but then we figured out that my husband just didn't shut the gate tightly. And she did get out to the front lawn while the dogs were being walked. And she did not attack the dogs. She hates the dogs, but she did not attack the dogs because she is actually a very well-mannered and polite dog, even in the frenzy of being a dog and being in that mode of, I'm gonna kill you. Okay, so that's my Maisie story. Let's see, I talked about, yes, Crafty Kim. That's not her name. She has a lot of different names, but she has a podcast called Craft Stash, and her name is Kim, and she is awesome, and she also did a quick little blurb on her Videocast yesterday about, which yarn did she get? I believe she bought some Arundel yarn. Yes, she bought Arundel yarn and the Charlotte colorway, and one of the things that she mentioned was that went back and forth in a conversation with her, kind of explaining that my colors always, well, my colors don't always show up as well as I want them to. I'm still working on things, and maybe there's a chance that I will be getting a fantasy camera for Christmas. I'm hoping to get a Nikon. I used to have a Nikon camera that I loved until Chris decided that he was going to buy a new memory card for me, so he popped the old one out, and then after he looked at it to see what size that one was, he jammed the memory card back in, and when he jammed it back in, he broke the camera completely. It was irreparable, and it was very sad because I loved that camera. Oh my gosh, I used to have a Flickr account and would just like go nuts posting everything. Ugh. So anyway, Crafty Kim did a yarn review, and it was very positive. And I'd also like to say, Crafty Kim, if you're watching and you were showing your fiber braids and you were kind of like, well, I don't know what to do with them. One of the other things you can do is use them as draft blockers. You know, like some people make the long dachshunds and things like that. But anyway, winter is coming, and maybe somebody can just throw it on the floor. That's terrible. You put so much time and work into it, and then, here, just throw it on the floor. But also, she is planning on doing a donation to Heifer International, and Heifer International works with families all across the world to give them different ways to help them live a sustainable life on their own. So they can get sheep or goats or rabbits and learn how to raise those and then sell them for profit, either in the way of fur or food. But it's an interesting idea. It's a neat idea. I'm all for it. And she's planning to send donation money to a family for the United States and a family for Haiti, because she is from Haiti. So I wanted to give a little promotion for that. If you're looking for something to do for a Christmas present and you don't want to buy something, you'd rather give to a charity, Craft Stash Kim is looking for more people to help donate to Heifer International with her. Okay, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, and if you watched the Let's Talk Net Zombies podcast, they showed a skein of Aurora Borealis that I have donated for the For Good hat knit along. So please buy Megan's pattern, because that money for that pattern goes to National Women's Health, which works to make sure that women's health is a priority and that it gets difficult when I think about certain things. It's to help women be more in charge of their health, have more control over it, and also make sure that the government is doing the best that they can to make sure that the priorities of human lives are more important than the profits of pharmaceutical companies. How about that? There's more that I would say, but I actually can't because, sometimes in your life you have very important people in your life and they say, I have this going on and it needs to be kept a secret. And all of a sudden they've told you a terrible secret. Maybe they killed a hobo and the body is buried with a big stack of money. Please don't tell anybody. And then, you've got to carry that around with you because you're very close to them and you're not supposed to share the secret. So one of the things that really stresses me out is that I carry a secret for somebody else, and it would be so much easier if I could just talk about it more openly. And I think a lot of people would understand if I talked about it. But for certain reasons, this person has asked me not to talk about it because there are other people that she doesn't want to know about it. But then there's a whole lot of weird hypocrisy with it because of the secret and the way that I'm talking in code right now. It's terrible. Anyway. Oh, Craft Stash Kim's other name is K-Star. She's all over the place with her names. I'm mostly just Kelly and SheepDreamery. And hello Wolf Farms. Hello Dawn. I wanted to say something to you. Cincinnati. She said on her podcast the other day that when she hears Cincinnati, she goes, Cincinnati. So I'm guessing that she was a big WKRP fan, and she's just thinking about the song. And we do spend part of our Thanksgiving watching the WKRP in Cincinnati episode where they drop turkeys from the sky. And Nesman says, God is my witness. I thought turkeys could fly. So, yes, it's a Cincinnati tradition on Thanksgiving to watch WKRP in Cincinnati. To go ahead and watch that episode. Let's see, I'm trying to get off of the YouTube. Blip rejected me. I'm gonna assume it's yarn porn. They didn't like my yarn porn, that's all. Okay. What am I knitting right now? Well, I started on a Christmas present for my son today. Now, because you all are knitters, you may be able to look at this and figure out what I'm knitting. This is his favorite color. Oh, this is his favorite color. And this is actually Cascade 220 yarn that I bought back in 2004-2005. I am knitting a gift for him with this yarn because the yarn I bought for him in June of this year, I lost. It's the only skein of yarn I've ever lost, and it kills me inside. It kills me because it was a skein of Madeline Tosh Sport, and it was in the window pane colorway, which you can see is pretty similar to this one. This is Blue Hawaii for Cascade 220. It's got a number name also, but I don't know what that is. And it just kills me because I know that I am the only person who could have lost this skein of yarn. Like, the blame is all in me. It's not like the dog found it and trotted off and buried it in the backyard. It's not like the cat threw up on it and then pushed it down the basement steps. It's my fault. My husband doesn't come into my area and clean up or anything like that. It's all on me. And I lost this yarn that I was prepared for. I was like, this window pane was discontinued. And I was like, I gotta buy this yarn in June right now because that colorway is gonna be gone. So it kills me that I lost that yarn. Just kills me. Just kills me. And my mom sends me a message on Facebook. Did you look under your bed? Yes, Mother. I looked under my bed. Of course, I looked under my bed. Oh, are you watching, Mom? Hi, Mom. I looked under my bed. I cleaned my closet. I thoroughly cleaned my closet. And, remember, like, back in 2004, everybody was going nuts making felted bags and felted baskets. Well, I took all of those and then put my slinky blinkies into all those. So now my closet's really organized. Everything's totally hung up, and I still can't find that yarn. I don't even keep yarn in the closet. I keep yarn pretty much out in the open. If I buy yarn, and maybe I shouldn't be making too many purchases, I actually hide my yarn in plain sight because my husband's not very observant. I can just leave something there for forever, and he'll just keep walking by it for years, literally for years, and never notice it. It's amazing. Let's see. I did some random active pattern Tuesday. And actually, I did some on Monday because yesterday, Karina Spencer, maybe you know her pattern Zuzu's Pebbles. She had a one-day only sale where if you gifted a pattern to somebody, then she would also send that pattern to you. So I found 2 people who had patterns of hers that I did not have yet in their queue, and I RAK'd them for that, and I got some patterns. Getting another sip of coffee here. Hold on. So that was fun. And then I actually only RAK'd 2 other people today. Because last week I was sitting on the sofa with my husband watching TV. We were watching New Girl, and I'm just going dope, 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 dope. Ran the backs of patterns for everybody. And the PayPal account is tied to his bank account. And I'm just like, doot, on the iPad. You're getting a pattern. And he's like, you gotta cut that out. It adds up. So, 2 people yesterday and 2 people today. That was all I could do. I like doing it though. I enjoy making other people happy. And if I can make somebody else happy, spending $5, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Let's see. I also wanted to give a shout out to Single Handed Knits. If you've never watched Melissa Melski Knits before, she does podcasts from her location. She lives in Hawaii, and a lot of times she is out on the beach when she does her Videocasts, and I really love it. I love being able to just hear the ocean. When you live in Cincinnati, you don't really get to hear those sounds anymore. Actually, I used to live closer to the Little Miami River, and the sound of rushing water was very nice. There's a hike and bike trail that goes from Cincinnati all the way up to, is it Dayton or is it Columbus? It's one of them. Wherever the river winds up. Actually, the Great Miami River goes from Cincinnati up to Dayton, and the Little Miami River goes from Cincinnati up to Columbus. And for those of you who are curious, Cincinnati is actually located in southwest Ohio, and it's in a little corner, and then just south of the Ohio River. Cincinnati is on the Ohio River, and then just south of that is Kentucky, and that area is known as Northern Kentucky. Hello. And then there's also some Indiana to the west. So, in case your geography's off and you were wondering, well, where the heck is Cincinnati? Cincinnati is in southwest Ohio. Columbus is right in the middle. Dayton is about an hour north of here, and then Toledo is about 3 hours north of here. 3 or 4 hours north. And then Cleveland is in northeast Ohio. So just in case you were wondering where all these different sea cities of Ohio are, there's your lesson for today. When I first moved here, my friends from home would call me up anytime something happened in one of the sea cities. And I had to explain to them, no, I'm not in Cleveland, I'm in Cincinnati. No, I'm not in Columbus, I'm in Cincinnati. No, I'm nowhere near the Great Lakes, I am down the other way. I don't think I have fully re-educated everybody that probably needed that knowledge, but that's okay. That's alright. And also, speaking of random acts of patterns, I wanted to thank Boutros Babe. Last week she gifted me the Goth Cowl, which is made, the pattern was made by Sadie Ruin. So that's like 2 minutes in one. I'm excited. I am going to knit it soon. I have some bulky yarn, and I'm going to get to it. Something I did for fun on Etsy the other day is made a treasury list. It's called Gnomes Did It. And basically, it's a treasury list of gnomes doing gnomey things. So if you like gnomes, go check out my Etsy profile. It's SheepDreamery, just like everywhere else, and you can see the gnomes. Now, what did I actually knit this week? Oh, that's right, I didn't even... Alright, so anyway, if you've ever seen the movie Dinner for Schmucks, you might be able to figure out what I'm knitting. It's an Elizabeth Zimmerman pattern in her book Knitting Around. And I won't say any more about it, but if you have watched the movie Dinner for Schmucks, you know that there is a certain character that wears a certain thing. And if you watch Jet Girl 1313's podcasts, she's knitting quite a few of them. And so every time she said it, I kind of snickered to myself, because I'm 4 years old. But then I was like, oh, that would be awesome to do. Because, well, he works outside and it would actually be useful for him. The other thing that I finished was a hat for him. Jake, if you're watching, sorry kid. It came out bigger and slouchier than I thought it would because I stuck the Fiesta wear plate inside of it. Whoops. So, it's kind of big, and he doesn't have a big Irish head for it to go around, you know. I already said people question his ethnic heritage, and he's got quite a story, you know. But anyway, I knit him the hat in Cascade 220 Blue Hawaii. I'm knitting this in Cascade 220 Blue Hawaii. So it'll all match. Matchy, matchy, matchy. I got both sleeves now completely sewn on my vitamin D sweater. So now it's off to the races on doing the body. And this is in my cephalopod yarns bugga. And it is the pink cardium colorway, which is not, it's not discontinued, they're just not producing any for a while. They'll be back to it later. Another thing that I finished was, she's wearing a Tiny Jane hat. Tiny Jane hat, Tiny Jane hat. Oh. This is Priscilla, the persnickety pig. This is a pattern by Retro Lemon, Jenna Krupa, and I used Noro Tayo for this and did it on number ones. And if you remember me talking about how worried I am about seaming my daughter's blanket together, it's because you can see right there how terrible I am at seaming stuff. It's a disgrace. It's terrible. And I concentrate so hard on trying to do everything perfectly, and it just does not come out right. It's just, hello, would you like some pig coach? Oh, sorry. That was so foul of me, I'm sorry. I hope you didn't have children listening. Anyway, this was a very quick and cute knit on some Noro Tayo I had. My dad loves pigs, so this is going to be a Christmas present for him. Dad, if you're watching, enjoy your pig. Enjoy your pig. So, he's not a Firefly fan, but I just thought, oh look, the Tiny Jane hat will fit on my piggy. Kind of, sort of. So, and the last thing I finished, Kyle, look away if you're watching. Maybe you're not watching, but I finished this and it turned out so awesome. This is Buddy the Zombie Elf. Isn't he awesome? It's like, hey guys, hello. I did this for the Knittables podcast. Knittables and No Makers teamed up together to do a knit along during November and December using No Makers yarn. So this is the Buddy the Elf yarn, and the pattern I use is Weave the Zombie Dude by J. Knitma, Amy Spindler. She is one of the stockinette zombies. And then I made a hat myself with my own creativity. Just give me some felt and some sewn glue. I can work some magic. Me and Amy Sedaris. So, that's all I have for that. see. Let me look at my notes. Did I talk about everything? Cincinnati. Yes. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is Cooling Springs Farm. If you're in Maryland and you have a holiday weekend with your children coming up and the kids are making you crazy, I would like to recommend that you take a drive out to Cooling Springs Farm. Cooling Springs Farm is owned by one of my cousins. It has been in the Michael family for a very long time. It was land that used to actually be owned by the Carroll family. Carroll family is a big important family from Maryland. And Cooling Springs Farm was part of the Underground Railroad. So you need to make appointments in advance, but you can go on out and take a tour of the farm, and you can even see where they would hide the slaves that were on the run. It's a very interesting place. So I just wanted to give my cousins a shout out. Hello, Michaels. My cousin, Pete Michael, has written many books about the Michael family. If you're a Michael, maybe you're one of my relatives. If you're a Michael from Maryland, there's a very strong chance. What else? Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. If you've got a big holiday coming up and you live in Maryland or Virginia, it's on the Potomac, close to the Monocacy River. There was actually a lot of important things that went on. That's kind of like, no, you don't know. Growing up in Maryland, I was just surrounded by history all the time. And when I came to Ohio, I was like, where's all the history hiding, man? I need some more information. It always felt weird. Oh, last thing. Snuggletopia. Sadie Ruin is doing a knit-along, crochet-along, sew-along in January. It's called Snuggletopia. You're just making blankets for animals that need blankets. I guess you're donating them to shelters and whatnot. And yes, Sadie, I will donate a skein of yarn for you to give away to anybody who participates and is a winner. So, I'm on that. Let's see. Now, I definitely covered everything. I hope everybody has a great week, and I'm glad that you came to watch, and if you stayed here for a whole hour, I'm very happy. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back next time. Please join my group on Ravelry. It's called SheepDreamery, and stop by and say hi. It's kind of quiet, and it doesn't need to be quiet. You don't have to be shy. Come on in. If you're watching me, we're friends. Come on in, say hi, introduce yourself. Let's get some of these lurkers talking to each other. Be friendly. Be chatty. Okay, have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye, y'all.